Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Manuel. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And for those interested for requesting pretty much any type of video, review, re-review, randomness, out of the blueness, topic, reaction commentary, whether it's a good or a bad movie, or good or a bad article, good or a bad whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Down below under the video. And this is the Life of David Gale from 2003. I understand now why Roger Ebert gave this 0 stars. It is like a 7.5 on IMDb, so maybe I'm alone in this. I'm not, because I put this on Facebook and there's like 2 people that's like, yeah, I kinda get what you mean. First off, it stars Kevin Spacey. There are times, yes, I could separate the art from the artist. And there's some times where it's hard. It's hard to do. And when Kevin Spacey, the sicko, pervert in real life, and more, not just that. You know, and I liked Kevin Spacey as an actor. I did. Until he became... Whether he was abused as a kid or not, there's no... His behavior is unjustifiable. And it's sick. And I can't believe... Isn't there... He's in like a new movie? Why would I be surprised? Roman Polanski kept fucking working, and Victor Salva kept fucking working for many years after they did what they did. So why am I surprised? But, you know, fuck Kevin Spacey. And he was in movies I liked. I still liked for other things. Outbreak, Seven, The Negotiator. But fuck Kevin Spacey. He's a piece of shit, so fuck him. And fuck him, and fuck him. Put him in a fucking rocket. Inject him into a goddamn tube of toothpaste. A little tube of toothpaste and whatever remains. Put him in a rocket ship. Put him into fucking space. Space case. You also have Kate Winslet from Titanic. Matt Craven is in the film, who I remember from the 1990 Jacob's Ladder. Laura Linney from Congo, The Mothman Prophecies, Truman Show. All 3 I like. She's in this for a little bit. She doesn't have too much to do. Okay, the movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes. And the gist of the plot is Kevin Spacey is this activist against the death penalty. He's a philosophy professor, and at this time he's in jail, accused of the rape and murder of his colleague, who is also an activist, also against the death penalty, and that was played by Laura Linney. So Kate Winslet is his reporter, who is assigned an intern, and the both of them are told to go interview Spacey about 3 times, because there's about 4 or so days until his execution. And each of these times, Kevin Spacey talks flashbacks about his life. And it's trying to be against the death penalty. It's very much one-sided. You never get a taste of the other side, or if it does, it's played so haphazardly that it's almost like it's a fucking joke. Like they have the governor of Texas be this almost 2 inches away from a country bumpkin. Golly gee willikers, I'm the governor of Texas with the tooth. Because I hate killing and I kill to stop it. You know, very one-sided, and this is one of those movies that's fucking manipulative. It's manipulative to get its ending across. It's against the death penalty, up, down, and center, and that's a whole other debate about the death penalty. If the right people get killed, then I'm for it, to be perfectly honest. Maybe that's also why I didn't like this film. If I want to see a better movie about the death penalty, Go watch Dead Men Walking with Sean Penn and Susan Sarandon. That's a much more powerhouse of a movie. Not as manipulative nearly as this. It states his case. You may say it's one-sided as well, but you know what? It's better directed, and it's not as ridiculous as this movie is and what it's trying to do. So, I mean, you have lines like when Kate Winslet and the intern go into Texas, man, there's more prisons than Starbucks here. And when they talk to Kevin Spacey, these are the flashbacks. He's a philosophy professor in Austin. Rona Mitra is in this. For those who don't know, Rona Mitra, I think wasn't she the body they based Tomb Raider Lara Croft on? She tried to be in movies and she wasn't good. She just wasn't. She's a student. He rejects her advances. Later on, he's at a party, gets drunk. Because he's drunk, accepts those advances, has sex with her, regrets it, tells Laura Linney. She gets pissed. They do a seminar. They do a TV thing where Kevin Spacey, the professor, talks with the governor of Texas. And again, they made him come off as this idiotic country bumpkin. But he comes up with the thing, hey, fine, show me right here. You say so many innocent people, show me one innocent person got killed because of this. Show me. And Kevin Spacey can't. And then he is arrested for the rape of the student, but it was a setup. And he even mentions that, as soon as it happened, she ran away to not be in the trial. It was to poke her finger at authority. And that kind of tells you a bit where this movie's going. The poking their finger at authority, saying something that's not true, accusation that's not true. And this film, there's no side arguments. There's no debates other than that one shitty one. And how do I put it? It's very one-sided. It's a very one-sided argument. Really one-sided. And I'll put this here, and I'll say this many times throughout it. Manipulating the system does not mean the system is broken. And that's one of the big takeaways I got out of it. But I'll get back to that. And this movie's just long. I mean, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. It did not need to be this long. So again, that was the first time Kate Winslet interviewed him. And the performances, like Kevin Spacey's doing this Kevin Spacey theme, but each time I look at him, I'm like, he has that look. And he has this, I'm smug, I'm better than you attitude. Even though we're supposed to be ultimately rooting for him, I'm like, I'm Kevin Spacey. I'm so better than you, huh? I'm like, okay, yeah. No, I can say I am better than you. Spaceman, space case, fuckhead. Yeah, I can say I'm better than you. So stick your smug mug up your smug ass. See, I can't even fucking talk straight, for fuck's sake. Bumbling my words. So then they visit the death house, the house where the murder happened, the rape murder happened. And Melissa McCarthy is in this. Very early role. She's a goth with piercings. She owns the place, shows them the place. And then there's about 2 more times where Kate Winslet interviews Kevin Spacey. One time, he talks about how After that, he got fired. He couldn't find a job. Laura Linney helped him find a job. He got divorced. Even then, with the job, people told him he can't be there. And you know what? The entire movie was about this, about being accused of a crime of sexual assault, but it didn't happen. And it's about you trying to get your life back while you have this target, while it's not true. And the entire movie was about that. That would have been a better case and a better movie if it was strictly about that. A false allegation, an Amber Turd type of scenario where she fucking lying sack of shit. You know? That would have been more interesting than what we got. On a side note, I don't want to mention the guy's name because I forgot to ask, and if he doesn't want his name mentioned, I don't want to. Just, you know, it's a guy, nice guy on Facebook. When I left a Facebook post about this movie, or a post that mentioned this movie, this person, he mentioned he was an extra on the movie. Again, if you're out there, feel free to comment if you want, and you can further elaborate if you want. But I didn't, in case you never know. Some people's like, yeah, I don't want to get anyone into trouble or anything. But they were an extra because when it was in his hometown, some of this stuff was filmed. And he mentioned that the director told the crowd to say things, and I don't remember if this was in the movie. You can't hide, we charge you with genocide. So yeah, the death penalty is the same as genocide. And comparing executions to World War II Nazi gas chambers, that's what the director was telling the crowd. To say this stuff, and that's why you're saying this stuff. So prisons and death penalties are the same as World War II Nazi gas chambers. You know, the ones that killed a lot of innocent people and children. I mean, I don't know a lot of children who did death penalty in jails. But I don't know, I haven't looked it up recently. And that's where you know when it's that mentality making a film. Not only is it manipulative, not only is it one-sided, but it's, I will say, a pretty flawed argument. If that's your mentality, that's just my point of view. I guess the people that give it up to a 7.5 IMDb disagree with that. So yeah, there's another interview, and he's talking about how he wants to do this interview with Kate Winslet so that his son knows what kind of person he really is, and how Laura Linney was sick with leukemia. Oh, and throughout the film, this creepy guy in a cowboy hat keeps following them. And you find out it's Matt Craven to, I guess, ultimately one day get her this tape, I guess, is why. I'm like, what if she called the cops on this cowboy? What if the cowboy, I did play with Matt Craven. Something happened to him, got in a car wreck, whatever. And so, Kate Winslet gets the tape, and it shows Laura Linney, and knows there's some discrepancies. And so, Kate Winslet and her intern go to the house. Melissa McCarthy is still there, and Kate Winslet wants to go through. I'm bumbling because she thinks it's suicide. So Kate Winslet decides she's got to do duct tape on her mouth and a bag over her head to try to mimic if this was a suicide or not. And I'm sitting there going, I wonder if all investigative journalists do this. Put yourselves in a way that, yeah, let me duct tape and put a bag over my head and almost kill myself to see if Laura Linney killed herself. Apparently no one can use their imagination or common sense or thought process, or I wonder if, Columbo, if there's a lot of, I mentioned it because I got this, which I need a new one because these are scratched the fuck up, sadly, and they don't play. So I need to get a new one of this, or I think it has a Blu-ray. I need to get this. I think there's a Blu-ray. But I remember liking this. I just imagine if he was an investigation, he's like, you know what, let me just, and put this bag on my head. I got that look on my face. Yeah, this is the look I got watching this fucking movie. This is the look I got. After the movie's over, this is my look. Again, and any of those Columbo episodes are better than this fucking movie, man. So she goes through all that to figure out, oh yeah, it was a suicide. She finds some more info. She gets evidence to prove his innocence. Gets there. Earlier on, the car fucked up. When she needs it the most, the car fucked up. She doesn't get there in time, and he is executed. Which makes me wonder if that car didn't fuck up and she got to where they needed to go. I wonder if that still would have fulfilled Kevin Spacey's plan. I don't know. But this is the ending, the shocking ending. You find out that because Laura Linney had leukemia and she was dying, her, the cowboy, Matt Craven, and the very last shot of the movie, you find out Kevin Spacey, they planned this whole purposeful frame up. Because Laura Linney is going to die by suicide. Matt Craven helps her, and then Tim Spacey goes in to put his fingerprints purposely on it to show that innocent people can be in jail. And I'll say it again, manipulating the system does not mean the system is broken. Now you want to know a movie that does that good? True Believer with James Woods and Robert Downey Jr. You want to see what this movie should have been? And it's not against the death penalty, it's just about this guy who's innocent and prove him. True Believer with James Woods, Robert Downey Jr. Go watch that movie. That's a much better, more powerful movie than this. Or you want to see about just not the death penalty, but the justice system. Al Pacino and Injustice for All. Wonderful fucking film, Injustice for All, starring Al Pacino. Go watch that about the justice system. Go watch True Believer about a guy getting someone out of jail who's innocent. Go watch those films back to back. Those are much more potent, powerful, and non-manipulative movies compared to this. I did manipulating the audience, go, oh no, here's a shock. No, it was a rape murder. Yes, he's innocent, but it wasn't just Matt Craven. It was a suicide, and Matt Craven and Kevin Spacey helped, because they're willing to die for their convictions. They're willing to die because they're against the death penalty. And look at it, we were innocent, and you killed an innocent man. And I'm like, what you did was waste a lot of resources. Trials, money, time that could have been fucking put into a lot of crimes that do need solved. All the police work, the time period, all that stuff that maybe there's people that are missing, people that are kidnapped, people that did get murdered, and you wasted the motherfucking time on your horse shit. So there's a part where they don't fucking feel bad you got executed, motherfucker. Maybe that helps because it's Kevin Spacey and should execute the motherfucker in real life. But I don't fucking care you got executed. You dumb fuck. You wasted people's time. It just... Like, it's hard to even say what it actually fucking proves. It doesn't prove that innocent... That doesn't even prove really your fucking point. Because you went all this way, and even you yourself put your fingerprints on it. The fact that you also did that in that last shot, it's like, well, yeah, if someone wants a really good way to commit suicide, in which they get executed and gotcha, you know what would be more potent? You just telling her from the get-go, here's this tape, show it. Okay, well, you're not on the death penalty anymore, but you probably don't want to be in jail for other reasons. And then you could tell your fucking story all throughout the goddamn years about the justice system, and maybe you get more people, yeah, I did what he was doing, and your career flourishes, and you're able to preach like Nelson fucking Mandela. Actually, not like Nelson Mandela, that's different, but Nelson Mandela was able to talk through jail, and this one's for Mandela, you know. That would be more of the courageous move, to still be alive and take your punishment for, you know, lying and faking and doing all this shit. I think you just wouldn't be in the death penalty. But you'd be in jail, but you'd be able to talk and lecture, perhaps. I mean, if you're on the death penalty, you're able to talk to a reporter. You may be able to talk to people when you're not on it. You could lecture and talk to people and probably do more work. Instead of your fucking suicide thing. But we need to die for our convictions. Again, well, if this happened in real life, there'd be a good... I guarantee you, whether you think it's right or wrong, there'd be a chunk of audience go, well, fuck him then. Okay. Well, it's your fault. You know. When you manipulate something that bad, it doesn't mean the system's broken. Like, I mean, and also, I don't know why. I'm trying to think, did Laura Linney agree to Kevin Spacey taking the fall? And I would go, that's a shitty friend. Be like, no, I don't want you to take the fall. Even if he says yes, I'd be like, well, no, you're not. I'm not going to let you do it then. Sorry. Like, if I was a friend, even if you want to prove a point, I would not let my other friend fucking take a fall and then get electrocuted by the electric chair. So it makes Laura Linney to be a shitty friend as well. Whether Kevin Spacey's care to agree to it or no. Now, maybe Laura Linney did know about it. I'm trying to think if she didn't know about it. But then, no, Matt Craven and Kevin Spacey was there from the get-go. So it seemed like this was all planned by all three of them. So yeah, it makes Laura Linney be like a shitty friend. It was boring. I thought Kate Winslet, at times she's just a bit too hyperactive to act. Kevin Spacey doing his smut, you know, I'm Kaiser Soze type of thing. Whatever. You know, there's other movies, whether Seven, The Negotiator, that I saw that same, or not same, but similar type of performance. I just don't watch. and get more entertainment out for other reasons. It's overlong, it's overdrawn. I'm like, there's other movies, whether it be True Crime or True Believer or all the other stuff you can watch and get a better... Is that someone that's like, peekaboo, you see this? How I fucked you over for this twist? Ooh. You feel like you're jerked around. And it's just, it's fucking boring. It's a boring movie. So no, I don't agree with the 7.5 on IMDb. Go watch Dead Men Walking instead. Go watch True Believer instead. Go watch And Justice for All instead, in my opinion. And double fuck yous to Kevin Space Case Fuckhead Spacey. If there was a fucking black hole, I'd throw him through it. So, and again, it doesn't want to have an actual conversation, an actual real debate on the death penalty system, because there's no viable side argument. There's no viable pro-death penalty motifs at all. Again, except one goofy governor. So, with that said, it just comes off as preaching manipulative bullshit. But I mean, I get why I just like at what, 19% by critics? So I'm actually with the critics on this one. But and Alan Parker did it. Didn't Alan Parker do Angel Heart? Or am I thinking of someone else? And I liked Angel Heart with Mickey Ward. Didn't Alan Parker do that? Didn't he do Pink Floyd's The Wall? Or am I thinking of a different director? And I like that movie. So it makes me go, what the fuck happened? Whatever. If you love the film, teach their own, not my cup of tea. So with that said, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.